This photo looks like amateur hour. Hey, this part of it is out of focus. This image is cultural appropriation. Any one of these comments that people make, if you read that, then there's something to pay attention to there. Hey there, this is Arash. I'm a photographer based in Southern California, a portraitist at heart, but a marketing, tourism, and lifestyle photographer by trade. Today's video is entitled, "That One Comment That Ruins Your Day." So yeah, I mean, social media. It's like Pat Benatar said about love. It is a battleground. It is a place where anybody, like whatever brain fart they have, they can just leave it there. You know, and as artists, if you're a creative person, if you're a professional artist, you're just putting your heart out there on a daily basis. Like every day, you're just ripping your heart open and putting it out in front of the world. And I don't know if you've had this experience, but I get it from time to time, you know, like we'll post up a thing and maybe a photo that I'm particularly proud of or a piece of writing that I just really like poured my heart and soul into. And I'll get like a bunch of positive feedback and people who literally will like message me or comment that this has really moved them, that they appreciate what I've put out there and how much of myself I've put out there. And then there will be this one person who will make a snarky comment that just makes you want to rip your own guts out and crawl through the computer screen and choke them like Bart Simpson and Homer. Yeah, that happens. That happens. I certainly don't have the answer on how to deal with it. You know, I know Beyonce says you should never ever scroll. I mean, I guess if I had hundreds of thousands of comments like she has on things, that would be a easier thing to do. But, you know, especially if we're artists working at sort of like this level, I don't know what this level even means. Let's say you are a professional artist working at a level where you still personally know 50% or more of your fan base. Right. And so when that one comment is left, it's a lot easier to take it like a lot more personally. And I am told by friends who do have the hundreds of thousands of followers and stuff that it still affects them. So I don't know if it really ever goes away, but I can only speak what it's like at this level. How do I navigate it? Well, I can tell you the very first thing that I do is I ask myself, is it true? Is the crappy comment that person left, is what they're saying true? Because if it's not, why would it bother me? Right? Like I am 6'5", so I'm pretty tall, and the thought experiment that I utilize is, okay, so if I'm 6'5" and somebody starts making fun of me for being short, what's my response going to be? Like, could you imagine that if somebody was just like, "Hey, short stack, whatever, shorty," and like they really like mean it, like that's what they're calling me? I'd just be like that would be the response, right? So if they're saying something like, "This photo looks like amateur hour," "Hey, this part of it is out of focus," this image is cultural appropriation. That's a big one, right? Any one of these comments that people make, if you read that and it is triggering something really hard in you, then there's something to pay attention to there. And it's not just about like, hey, let's just tell that person to shut up. Like if it's affecting you, it's because some part of you deep down inside feels that there's some truth to what they're saying. And we sometimes fixate on the wrong part of it, right? Like maybe they use the curse word and that's like upsetting you. You know, who knows? Maybe you don't like because the person specifically who's doing it thinks that they're making a joke privately to you, but because they're doing it in front of a public audience, it's extra hurtful. So in that situation, really the thing that might be triggering you, as it has me, is more a concern about what my public image looks like, a way that I want to be perceived and seen by people. But if they're saying something specifically about your heart, that your art that's hurting your feelings, that could be the trigger. Who knows? It could be 10,000 different things, and it's very rarely very specifically what that thing on the surface is. My main point being, the very first thing is I ask myself is this true? And I explore that because this is an opportunity for personal growth. If it's not true, shouldn't bother you. If it's still bothering you, that means that maybe some part of it is a general insecurity about your public image or about this person. There's still stuff to explore there. I guess what I'm saying is that there is no version of this where the answer is just tell that person to shut up and go away. Mind you, listen, and I'm obviously not referencing people who are consciously trolls, right? If they're saying something blatantly racist or, it's that uncle that you're somehow attached to on Facebook and you have no desire to be attached to that says horrible things. I'm not talking about those things. I'm just saying if somebody makes a comment and it doesn't immediately fall into hate speech or obviously trolling you because they're trying to hurt you. But even in that situation, honestly, I would look at it and go if this person is actively trying to hurt me, why am I allowing them to have that kind of power over me? There's some stuff to explore there. But that one comment that ruins your day, that's one of the things that I hear never goes away. What do you say? Okay, I'm going to stop rhyming. So what's the answer? What's the solution? Go inward. Ask yourself, is this true? If it's not, brush it off. If it's not hate speech, don't delete it. People should speak. And in the long run, if you are an artist that's continuing to put yourself out there, this is just something that comes with the territory. And learning how to navigate and deal with those things is a part of the personal training that it takes in order to continue elevating in your career and in your notoriety. The word trigger can be useful if it's a word that we are using in order to have a better understanding of what's coming up for us so that we can elevate and expand as human beings. I do know that it definitely seems like there is a culture out there where they say if something is triggering to me, then you should stop saying it and we should stop talking about it. That might be the thing in some circles. I'm not in a position to say what's right and what's wrong with all of society. But I can just tell you that how I navigate these things is that I'll use the word trigger in order to have an understanding of what it is that is triggering me in order to overcome it and elevate and get better as an artist, as a leader, as a human being. That one comment that ruins your day. Feel free to leave me a comment that might ruin my day. Or if you have questions or comments, even ones that don't ruin my day, you can message me. All my links are over at mrarash.com. Until next time, ciao.